You're watching Chili Boy Productions. I'm Larry Chili Boy Chilson, and we are back for a new Sports Talk Live. Now, admittedly, it was a little touch and go. That's why this got the schedule so late. We haven't really shared it anywhere either. So you're probably catching this on the replay, coming back around. Welcome. We're glad to have you. But we are here for our 7th episode of this live stream series. Now, this week, once again, Leo is busy as he always is, and I have a very special co-host guest to bring on the show. You saw him at DC Fandom. You saw the preview for the new series. Please welcome this week's co-host, Peacemaker.
Hello.
Hey!
Yeah, well, it's Halloween. It's basically our Halloween episode. I
is.
felt it was appropriate to dress up in my Halloween garb.
I was like, I didn't even think about it. I'm so lame. I didn't even realize.
So I had to go all out. I mean, it's kind of like what John Cena does. John Cena was like doing press, and red carpets dressed up as Peacemaker. So,
you have any special plans for Halloween?
I do have some. That's why I made sure I got a costume today to make sure.
Oh,
that's why I had to go all out.
Had to run out and make sure you had that ready to go.
Yeah, it's the beacon of freedom and everything.
And John Cena is a sports figure, so he's still like in theme here. He's an athlete first, actor later in life. Yeah.
It works.
Well, this week in sports, it's been another interesting one. Took us on a nice little roller coaster there this week.
Hasn't been great for me this week, I'll say that.
Yeah, I know. Neither one of us. We were both not happy watching events unfold.
Yeah, not a good week for either team.
No, but before we get into that, we have our other random sports to discuss, starting with NASCAR and the name that Tyler will have ingrained in his head because he just keeps winning, and that is Kyle Larson, who wins his 9th race of the season, which is just, it's nuts. I'm tired. I'm y'all Kyle Larson fans, if there are any of y'all that watch this randomly,
you're tired of winning.
I'm tired of it. And I was real tired because my boy Ryan Blaney got taken out by another car, and now he's on the outside looking in to get into that Final Four chase. So he's 5th. He was looking good, and then now we in danger come Sunday. I'm gonna be real nervous watching that Martinsville race. But yay, NASCAR. And then this week we don't have Alyssa here to guide us through, but that's okay because the Red Sox got eliminated. So
that's true. It's the Astros, but the Astros aren't faring too well yet either. So.
Well, tonight, right now, they're actually playing right now, and they're leading 5-1.
So it's the opposite. Swing. So it's going to be like last time where it was one beat down, another beat down.
I'm telling you, it's at the end of the 3rd, and it's 5-1 right now. I don't know what's going on with these MLB playoffs. They just like trade off in these like beat downs. It's really weird. But as Tyler said, the Atlanta Braves put a beat down on the Astros in game 1 and currently lead the series, though, as I just said, Astros looking to tie it up. So I know you're Team Braves, yes?
More than likely, yeah. I'm not a big Astros person, so definitely Team Braves.
Oh, wow. I feel like we have a lot of Braves fans. Like, I feel like I don't know that many people from Georgia on Twitter. Yeah, I saw a bunch of Braves stuff recently. I think a lot of people must hate the Astros.
Yeah, I mean, after all the cheating allegations in recent years,
the Astros are just make people angry.
Pretty much,
Go Braves.
Yeah, during that afterwards when they were accused of cheating and all that stuff, like everyone was just tormenting them no matter where they went with the trash cans and all that stuff.
Wow, I mean, That's fun.
What can you
Let's
do,
see
I guess.
if they cheat their way to a title.
It's possible.
Ugh, I don't think people will be happy about that at all.
No,
So,
absolutely not.
and then in other sports news, we keep on trekking with the NHL. Oh, my Avs. I don't know what's going on to start this dang season.
I don't know either because I don't follow NHL.
Well, we were already down 2-4 after 6 games. Hi, Ash. Thanks for or Art. Sorry, Lord, I can read sometimes. I was in the Astros and Little League. Wow,
There you go.
You were a good omen for the Houston Astros in the adult life. But yeah, my poor Avs. I don't know what's going on. This is not the start to the season I wanted to see. But we still have 5 undefeated teams. The Florida Panthers, the only one to get to 6-0. But the Carolina Hurricanes, presumably your home team, the Washington Capitals, are also 4-0. St. Louis Blues and Edmonton Oilers 5-0. Yeah, you get to pick between like Evil Dead or Pokemon if you're like Ash. So
yeah, I don't know any other. I can't think of too many other big characters of Ash. Yeah,
I have a feeling this to me, what this ensemble that you got rocking today gives me kind of hockey vibes. I don't know if it's because like the metallic face mask.
It's a beacon of freedom.
The beacon of the toilet bowl on your head.
It's a beacon of freedom.
Side note, I still have not watched that trailer that they released at Fandom. I actually don't know if I've watched the other trailer they released.
I mean the clip and then the trailer, yeah. I watched the trailer. It was okay.
I mean, I feel like Tyler was in line with me in not loving his character, so it's quite the interesting to go about to
I don't, but I just think it's funny. I think it's a funny costume, and I guess I could use it for reviews for Peacemaker when the show comes out in January.
Now here's the real question: at any point in the evening, are you going to go into the bathroom and come out in some whitey tighties?
I don't think I own any. I don't think I own, like, of course I own a lot of boxers, but I don't own any tighty whities. So I have to buy a pair if I was going to do that.
Oh, then a sport, at least Tyler peripherally keeps track of. We have the NBA in their full swing now. Another one that my team, I mean, that's not a horrible start, but they started off 2-2 right now. The little Denver Nugs.
I saw Jokic was making some highlights.
Well, you know how he does. No. But we have only 3 teams already. We're down to 3 undefeated teams in the NBA right now. The Chicago Bulls and Golden State Warriors at 4-0 and the Utah Jazz at 3-0. How you feel about the Bulls, Tyler?
I think they've done a good job kind of like reinvigorating the franchise, getting, Lonzo and DeMar DeRozan. So, I mean, that's exciting that they're elite. I mean, it is still very early, of course, but it's exciting that what we've seen so far with them.
Yeah, and the Golden State coming back, I
figured that was going to happen. Trying
to put their stamp back on the NBA after a few years being forced into the background.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they had some high draft picks in recent years because of them not playing too well because of injuries. So it's good to see them. I guess depending on how you feel about them, it's good to see them. Not good to see them back on top.
Tyler, as both a horror and comic book movie fan, how do you feel about this evaluation of your costume?
What does the comment say?
It gives me Jeepers Creepers superhero vibes. I love it.
Oh, hey, I mean, that works. I'll take it.
I feel like in the camera, maybe it's like part of the reflection of whatever's back there. It kind of gives that like wrinkled Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, it's the stuff on the mask. Like, if you ever look at Peacemaker's mask, he does have stuff on his mask. It's just, you don't notice it too much.
Did you pick it up, by the way, this week?
What? Oh, no, actually.
Suicide Squad. I have an eye there. I don't
I was
know if I
going
love
to.
this steelbook or if I don't love it enough. I don't know. I'm like, I don't hate the steelbook, but I just
I just
wasn't
think
so
I think it's kind
enthused.
of boring.
Yeah, I wasn't compelled to like need that steelbook.
That's how I
So
feel. I mean, I'm gonna get it just because I have every other DCEU steelbook. So I feel like I have to keep the consistency going.
yeah. Ugh. Well, then we get to the NFL for the week,
Oh man.
and this last week. Um, well, the Saints continue to saint,
I mean, at least they won.
but whew,
I
it
mean, it was
was
nervous, but it was. I was getting mad.
it was a nail biter from the Saints once more. They
Never
really
fails.
they really don't know how to just let people live. As we mentioned, I mean, the Broncos out here creating star running backs. The problem is it's for the other team.
I still can't believe they lost that. Like, I really figured, like, surely this was a game you guys had to win.
I just
Like, third string running back. Most of the offense, actually, for the Browns was injured. You know, Baker Mayfield wasn't playing.
the plan just I don't know what was it was horrible. I was like,
The
what the
Ernest Johnson out
hell?
there, that got that third string running back, Ernest Johnson. Like, I love his
Yeah, he
story.
killed it.
After like they like told us his story about like
Yeah.
how he was like out in Florida like helping his like brother fish and all that, and now he's running all over the Broncos. They made him look like Derrick Henry out there. He was unstoppable. I was a
Speaking
little
of
shocked.
Derrick Henry, I put it in the title for this week. Is it
Oh man,
officially time for the Chiefs to really be concerned on their season?
I would say so. I mean, I guess is that the segue into that question?
Yeah, is Derrick Henry
Well,
threw more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. Oops.
I couldn't believe that when I saw that because of course I was at the Ravens game while that game was going on
Yeah.
because they were both at one. I was thinking Derrick Henry threw a touchdown. Like I watched the highlight because it was a wildcat style play, and I was thinking he
Yeah.
threw a touchdown. Like this man is unreal. Like he's throwing touchdowns, rushing for touchdowns. But the Patrick Mahomes, I mean, it sucks because like he's still. I guess maybe those injuries from last season are still reeling, and he's just he's having to deal with a lot more because his defense is so terrible. Like maybe it's just getting to him the fact that like he's just making a lot more mistakes because I mean they couldn't put up any points. They didn't put up any touchdowns. It was so,
Yeah.
and he was just fumbling the ball every chance he could,
Oh
throwing
my God.
interceptions.
Those fumbles were. I mean, it was alarming because that was one where we all were kind of like, I could see it going either way. So it was kind of alarming just to see the Titans own them. Like they dominated the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was
Sunday.
one
I
of those
mean,
things. It was one of those things where like I thought for a period of time, just because we've seen it so many times, that he was going to come back. Like Patrick
yeah,
Mahomes is very well in his prime. Not saying his prime because he's still kind of in his prime. He's still young, but the Patrick Mahomes that we know, like he's 14 points, 17 points.
nah.
That's nothing. He can do that, but he couldn't get the job done. I mean, the offense as a whole couldn't get the job done, and the defense also couldn't get the job done. They let them just destroy them in the first half. They didn't really do much in the second half, not that they really needed to.
Yeah.
But if they had just put up that kind of fight the whole game, they could have actually kind of come back.
Well, another shock. I know you don't want to talk about it, Tyler, but another shock for us, especially after that clinic they put on against the Chargers. It's an interdivision rival. That's always the thing. Is that most teams they just find something when they know they're like, all right, we're coming up against one of our interdivision rivals. We're coming for the action.
Right.
And the Bengals, I mean, they showed up for that game in Baltimore.
Yeah, they did. They kicked that crap out of us.
So what happened, Tyler?
I mean, a lot of things. The defense couldn't stop anyone. That was a big thing. Jamar Chase actually was the big one, and Uzomah, their tight end. It was just those two specifically. They were just going all over us when it comes to these long touchdowns. And the Jamar Chase touchdown, that was just really bad tackling. Like they just could not tackle him in that play to save their life. And then once he hit the open field, you knew he was gone. Like there was no way anyone could catch him in the open field. Like he's a great receiver. Like I think right now he's probably my pick for offensive rookie of the year. So, I mean, I don't know who could really challenge him right now as far as offensive rookie of the year, as long as he keeps consistently playing the way that he is. I mean, and it's just
Mills.
Oh yeah, Davis Mills. He's got to put up some pretty crazy stats these next couple weeks to get in the running.
The comeback is on its way.
But yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I mean, they have that history, both going to LSU together, and then they kept it, going over in Cincinnati. It was one of those things I was nervous about, for Joe Burrow, especially going into this season, was the fact that he needed protection. Like that was like the big thing last season, is that he had no protection and he goes and blows out his knee. And you think going into this year's draft, you're going to get him a tackle. The big one was Penei Sewell. They thought they were going to draft Penei Sewell, and they end up going Jamar Chase instead. So it was one of those things where, in retrospect, I guess maybe it worked out for them, since Jamar Chase does, still has that kind of goodwill, and he's still able to put up the crazy numbers he did at LSU with Joe Burrow. So it's nice that they still have that connection even after these last couple of years where they did play together. But yeah, I mean, between that and then the offense just couldn't get it done sometimes. It was one of those things where this year especially, the Ravens have been not the greatest. They've not been the greatest at staying in the lead. It's always down to the wire. And this week it was just, it's not coming. We're not coming back from this one. We had a couple of good comebacks this year.
Yeah, luckily you have a week off to get that game plan sorted out and ready for your next one. But this weekend, one thing, we broke the streak. No overtimes for the first time this season. No overtime. This was like the weekend of the blowout. It was, I think I said that in the group chat or in people around, because especially the 4:00 games, especially, were like all very lopsided. Like the Bucks game. Until they started scoring more, the Raiders game was kind of lopsided too. Yeah, I mean that Bucks. Poor.
Justin Fields, man, he's
your boy Justin, just mad, dejected on the side.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I love the guy. I think with enough stuff around him, he can be pretty great. It's just like he's just getting fed to the wolves.
Yeah,
every week. And he goes out there, and he's producing a lot of turnovers too. That's another thing that he needs to stop doing, is all the turnovers. But I don't know.
Patriots just murdered the Jets.
Yeah, they were quite angry.
A total shellacking there. The Cardinals just decimating the Texans.
The revenge game, because DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt were facing off against their old team.
They maybe this week, but we just got an entry with Green Bay, because I'm like, they're still it. They're they're still trucking without a loss yet, while the Lions keep trucking without a win.
The Packers have really bad luck this week. I mean, we'll get to that when we talk about that game, but they've had some really bad luck this week when it comes to, I guess, the COVID-19 list is, I guess, the reserve list is what they call it. But yeah, the Cardinals are still pretty good. I mean, we kind of expected they were going to just roll over the Texans, because the Texans aren't very good.
They just murdered them.
They had a very high spread. I think it was like 14 points. They gave like 14 or something, like 17 points to the Texans in the spread, so they knew it was going to be a blowout. And those poor Lions, like you just mentioned, they had a fight there. I was shocked.
They did. They came out firing. They like punched LA in that first half, and then LA was like, hold up.
I was shocked because it was 10-0 when I was on the way home from the Ravens game. And then by the time halftime rolled around, the Rams were up 17-16. I was like, never mind.
Well, then even like the Giants murdered the Panthers. I'm
still mad about the Panthers in general. Like both of the Panthers and the Broncos, Larry. What happened? Both you guys started with so much hype, and then it's just been downhill for the rest of the month.
We both started 3-0, and we've looked absolutely horrible.
Who will win first?
I don't know. But the only close game this weekend was the Falcons like squeaking out that victory. One of the only close games.
Tua was making some dumb mistakes out there.
I was like, oh shit, the damn Dolphins about to make us look a fool.
I mean, that's what I get, because I picked them when they lost to the Jaguars.
And then, yeah, we talked about it. The Saints barely overcoming on Monday Night Football, finding a way at the very
That
end.
game was rough, and then the 49ers and Colts game, both of them were just like
God.
monsoons out there.
Well, and that one, I mean, and that game was really close until kind of the end when Indy took it over. But
I'm still upset.
49ers, like we talked about in our group chat, the 49ers don't know how to play in that weather. I'm like, what the hell?
San Francisco, that's all they know is sunny
We don't
weather.
know this life. What?
All this horrible weather and rain.
Lo, your 49ers, they were not ready for that rain, bro. They were not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Or Jimmy G came back and was like,
that
oh,
ball
damn.
was slipping around everywhere.
Well, we talked about it a little bit. Our first game up this week, tomorrow night, we have the Green Bay Packers at the Arizona Cardinals, which, in hindsight, if the Packers win, I believe that puts them number one in the NFC over the Cardinals.
I mean,
I'm
they'd
not
be tied
positive on that,
probably.
but they'd be tied. But I guess they would have the tiebreaker, yeah, just
if they
because of
beat
head to
them, I
head.
would imagine.
Yeah, but do we think it's going to happen, Tyler?
I don't really think so. Like the fact that they're not going to have Devontae Adams, they're not going to have Alan Lazard. Both of them are on the COVID list, so they can't play.
And Devontae Adams is balling out.
Yeah, and that's a really big concern for me that they're not going to have them at all, and especially against the Cardinals, because we've seen the Cardinals. You know, they have pretty good offense. So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers can do. You know, I believe in Aaron Rodgers most of the time, but like that's a really tough order to ask from him when it comes to beating the Cardinals, and he doesn't have Lazard or Devontae Adams. Like he doesn't. I don't know. I mean, he's gonna be throwing a lot to Tunyon and handing the ball off to Jones. I guess. I mean, maybe your best bet's there. I don't know.
So you thinking the Cardinals are gonna hold him off?
I think it would make. I think I would go with the Cardinals this time. I believe it's actually in Arizona too. I believe. So they're gonna have the home field.
Playoffs.
Yeah,
maybe not.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that this time, I think the Cardinals will pull it through just because they are going to get Chandler Jones back on defense. Yeah. And I mean, it's going to be a good matchup. They've always played really well against each other, the Cardinals and the Packers. They have like a kind of a history, if you will. And just the fact that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have two, especially his number one weapon, Devontae Adams, but Lazard is pretty good too. He's like a big guy. So I think they'll pull it out, even without J.J. Watt, because J.J. Watt's injured. He's not going to play tomorrow. But, they got Chandler Jones back, so, that's a good offset.
Yeah, a nice trade-off, if you will.
Right. I'd say.
All right. Well, I'm also going with the Cardinals. I've not been totally loyal to them, but I feel like I've mostly believed in that team as they've been moving out and about this season. And I think against the Packers in the state that they're going to be in tomorrow night, I think that the Cardinals will be able to hold them off. So there we go. Then we have the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, you can go first this time, Larry, since I went first with the other one. How are you feeling? You feeling, what's his face? Is Walker going to start? Is it going to be Sam Darnold? He's going to get benched again?
Oh, my God. I can't pick the Cardinals right now. Even against Atlanta, they almost made me look a fool last week. Almost blew it against the damn Dolphins, but I can't pick the Panthers right now. So I have to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I like you just said, they benched their starting quarterback last week. We don't know what's going to be happening on Sunday. Will they survive the whole game?
It's a divisional game too.
Yeah, I got to pick the Falcons. What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I think at this point I've been burned too many times picking the Panthers just because, well, a couple of those times I was burned because they lied to me and told me Christian McCaffrey was going to play. But and then this past week, I figured sure they would beat the Giants, and then Sam Darnold goes out there and lays an egg, gets benched. I mean, Sam Darnold, he started out the season so great, and he's just been horrible the last couple of weeks. Like because of that, I think I have to go with the Falcons this time, just because I think that they're a better team all around right now. I mean, and they're on a winning streak. They're doing well. I think that and it's also, like we said, a divisional game. I think they'll play a little bit harder as the Carolina Panthers are kind of in flux right now.
Yeah, we made fun of him a lot early in the season, but Matt Ryan has definitely looked better as of the last couple of games, as they have been at least winning these close games.
Right.
He's looked a lot better than he did to start off the season. So
Yeah, was it that meme of him in week 1 laying on the ground like a corpse?
Listen. Well, then, all right, Leo, we're looking at you because we got a rematch of the worst pick of the season still to date.
Well, we know what he's going to pick, but it's still hilarious to reminisce about that pick.
One of the most miscalculated choices. Oh, Lord, my shit is falling.
Leo's back there. Is he angry?
Yeah, he's mad. It's like Poltergeist Leo in the background. We've got the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo coming off a loss, but they did have a bye week. I don't think that's going to matter, that loss. If anything, it's going to just refocus them.
I think they should have just not gone for it. I really think they would have I think they would have had a much better chance at winning if they had just then go for it on that down, and they could have got the overtime. They could have potentially won, but they could
aggressive. Be the leaders in the AFC right now.
Yeah, that's true.
They could be the only one.
The AFC is definitely wide open, more so than the NFC when it comes to who is the best team.
Yeah. So you gonna take a chance at Miami? Is Tua gonna get it done?
Absolutely not. I think it'll probably just be similar to last week. I mean, last time they played earlier this year. I don't know if it'll be as big of a blowout, but I could definitely see it being closer to that. I mean, Tua's not been playing all that great ever since he did come back. So I think that the Bills defense is going to have him very flustered.
Well, I don't know that this one's necessarily a barn burner, but maybe could be interesting. We have the San Francisco 49ers at the Chicago Bears. Tyler?
I don't know. So should we weigh the pros and cons of this matchup? I don't know.
I'm like, after what I saw last week.
Who do you pick, Larry? See, I went first. Let's see, we're going back and forth.
With this, I just the Bears, they pull like Broncos shit often to where their offense just doesn't move. Like they just can't score consistently at all.
No.
And I mean, what's the weather like in Chicago? I mean, maybe that's the real question.
Let me check
Jimmy
the forecast.
G gonna be throwing with the snow and the rain, or is Chicago okay right now? I gotta go. I'm gonna go 49. In Jimmy G, I trust one more week. At least when it's against the Bears. This one though, I don't know. Chicago. I'm gonna go 49ers. All right.
Yeah, I think I have. I do think I have to as well, even though I'm hoping. I mean, I would love if I was wrong here just because I like Justin Fields. I would like to see him actually play well. But the 49ers just have an all-around better team right now. I mean, we after that shellacking that the Bears just got against the Bucks. I mean, I don't know if they can really go up from there. I mean, I guess they can't go down either. but I don't know, man. The 49ers defense is pretty good pass rush wise. So I think it could be another thing where I'm nervous because I feel bad for Justin Fields because that was the first game they threw him out there against the Browns defense and that pass rush, and he was eaten alive. He had almost a double-digit sacks. So we could see another repeat of that, and he's going to be more upset this week. So 49ers is definitely my pick as well. I think that their team is just much better.
So what's it look like over in Cleveland? They getting anybody back, or are they still wandering in the woods, not knowing what to do?
I actually did look that up earlier because I was curious. It sounds like they're going to get Chubb back. Conklin, they're one of their tackles. I think he's the right tackle actually. And Baker Mayfield may play. We'll see. They're talking about he may play with his arm basically barely attached to his body at this point.
He said, "I ain't watching again. I was ready to run out there last week."
He was ready. He was hyped.
Baker, chill, bro, chill. Well, so do you think Cleveland can get it done regardless with the Steelers coming into town? They got a division rival to
Right.
host this week.
I think if they get a lot of these pieces back, they'll have a much better shot. Baker Mayfield or not, like I'm not as concerned about that one as we. I mean, Case Keenum's not a terrible quarterback. I mean, you would know, Larry. He was a Bronco for a brief period of time. So
he was one of our million that we've had over the last several years.
You recognized him. It was almost like a revenge game for him playing on Thursday.
He's like a definite solid backup. It's not like shit. We just got Davis Mills to come out on the field.
He had that great run with the Vikings, so it's a shame that he kind of just didn't really build on that all that much. But I think the Browns, especially if they get back some of these people like Conklin and Chubb and all them, they won't get Hunt back for a few weeks at the most because of his injury is a little bit more severe. Yeah. But I think that the Browns have enough pieces to pull it off over the Steelers, and I hope that they win because I hate both the teams because they're both in my division. But I think I like to see the Steelers lose a little bit more,
just a little more satisfying.
It really is.
The Steelers are coming off their bye, right? They had a bye week last week.
I believe so, yeah.
And so that gives me a little bit more pause, I guess. Maybe
the Browns had a little bit more free time too.
They did have a little more free time.
Thursday game.
Lord. But I'm gonna go with
bye.
I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns as well. I just think that they're gonna put a stop to Pittsburgh. Ben, he's gonna be flopping around and trying, but it ain't gonna work for you this time, bro.
Myles Garrett and Clowney are gonna get to him.
I hope Chubb gets him good.
Oh man.
But all right, well, oh my. Okay, so we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Detroit Lions.
Oh man, you think that they're finally going to pull it off, Larry? The Lions going to get their first win against Dibes' Eagles?
I mean, they got to break through sometime. I mean, it would be kind of epic to become the first team to do it twice. To just
they would be losing more games this year because they have one extra game.
They would get the new record again. They got the 16-game record.
They'd be 0-17 if they lost every game this year.
No, I mean, I kind of want it just so they can get that record to add to the 16.
Hell yeah.
And I just think Philadelphia's been playing a little bit better. They've been keeping it closer and showing some improvements as the season has gone on.
The thing is with them, like with last week, they were getting destroyed, and then they all of a sudden decided to try and play, and they came back. They scored several touchdowns, but they just gave up too many points, so they couldn't come back.
Yeah, and I don't think Detroit's going to be putting up the points like Derek Carr did in that first half.
Right.
So I think Philadelphia will win, but
I do too.
Lions.
I mean, it would be nice if the Lions got a win, I suppose. They get the upset win, and they take on the Eagles. I mean, maybe they win. They could get their first win. I mean, they've had a lot of heartbreaking losses this year. So
yes, I wouldn't. This is one I wouldn't be shook if the Lions won. If they found a way to win, I wouldn't be stunned. I
feel bad saying it feels like a trap game, just because it feels kind of mean for for Eagles fans to say it's a trap game. Because, I mean, they haven't won too many games this season either.
No.
But I just think overall they're a better playing team right now.
Well, then we have the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. This could be an interesting one here. The
Titans have been playing some pretty great football lately. Not just Derrick Henry, actually, because Tannehill did pretty well last week as well, throwing it around. It's a good divisional matchup. I mean, we've seen the Colts have done pretty well lately too. They're very hit and miss though, but I think the Titans will pull this off. I think that they'll still keep trucking. They've got the the defense has been playing really well as well, and Derrick Henry, man, Derrick Henry's insane. He can carry the whole team as long as I don't know if they can stop him. I don't know if Darius Leonard and the Colts defense can stop him. Yeah. They're gonna try, I guess.
No, they'll try. Yeah, I agree. I can't pick against the Titans after what we've at least seen recently. The Colts have been playing well to win these games that they have, but I just think the Titans are a better team. So
Right. Me
all
too.
things
And I picked
considered,
against
I
them
think they
last
win.
week, and the Chiefs let me down.
Well,
So
the Chiefs just.
I thought it was going to be at least close. Like I was like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
we all.
surprised if either team won, and then the Titans go to just
Mahomes just
steamroll them.
Mahomes has some of that Dwayne vertigo out there on the
Oh
field.
God. Yeah,
His
the
head
end.
was
Yeah, I got that
spinning.
knee to the face.
For real, his head was spun around exorcist style on the field. Lord. Well, then we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the New York Jets.
It's the
The
Bengals.
Bengals. We'll say it in
mean,
unison, the Bengals.
Like, who is starting for the Jets?
I mean,
Mike White? Who is this man? I've never heard of this man in my life until last week.
sorry to this man. I never seen him.
Well, in fun news for both of us, Larry, since he did end up being on both of our teams, did you see that Joe Flacco got traded back to the Jets?
Oh, Lord. Look at Joe Flacco.
They sent him back.
I really didn't realize he was still on anybody's roster.
He was on the Eagles.
I feel, poor Flacco.
He's still getting paychecks, though.
You still got love for Flacco, Tyler?
A little bit. Like, I mean, how can I not? I mean, I have to always like him just for that amazing Super Bowl run. Sorry, Larry. Because, your team was involved in that amazing, historic Super Bowl run. But, yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that, I mean, of course, this is pre-Mahomes, but he was like the only one in that gap in the 2000s into the early 2000s for a while where it was, the AFC was represented by only like 3 people other than Joe Flacco for the entire decade. It was either Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
and then it was Joe Flacco. That's why it was so funny when you see the graph of all the AFC representatives in the Super Bowl during that decade. It was mostly Flacco was just that one out of all the other ones.
All right, well, we got the LA Rams at the Houston Texans. I think this is another unison pick. The Rams.
Yeah, sorry, Davis Mills.
It's over, bro.
I think
that
Aaron Donald's probably gonna have a field day with Davis Mills.
Yeah, this is no. The Rams aren't going to struggle like they did against the Detroit Lions in that first half. Even I don't think. I don't know. No.
Get the ice packs ready for the neck, Davis Mills. It's gonna be a long day.
Well, this one could be interesting, potentially. We have the New England Patriots coming off just obliteration, a smackdown they put, up against the LA Chargers, who are coming off of a bye week. But, the Ravens definitely exposed the Chargers in many ways, and that had not been previously exposed, possibly. Is that enough for the Patriots to break through, Tyler?
I don't know. I think the Chargers are still a pretty good team all around. I mean, we've seen that defense for the Patriots hasn't been great consistently this season. Yes. Especially, we saw the Cowboys game. Just, it was just back and forth. Dak Prescott was just going ham against the Patriots. And I think Justin Herbert's about just as good, and that offense is about just as good as that Dallas offense is when it comes to weapons between Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Austin Eckler. I think they have the pieces there defensively, especially. I think it could be a good game. I mean, of course, the Patriots shellacked the Jets, but the Jets are the Jets. They're terrible. I would be shocked if that happened again this week against the Chargers. I don't think that's going to be. Mac Jones has played consistently. He's a little bit above average. He's been playing better than a lot of the other rookies, especially this year. But he's not had great stats either. If you look at his stats, they're not mind blowing, especially for a rookie. That's I think if Jamar Chase didn't have some amazing numbers, I would put Mac Jones at number 2 as far as offensive rookie of the year odds right now. Yeah. I think he's been solid. I think he's been the best out of all the rookie quarterbacks so far. But I think the Chargers are going to get it done here. I mean, I think the bye week will help. I think I don't know. Maybe the Patriots will be a little bit tired from that beatdown they laid.
Well, I agree. I think the Chargers are going to win. The Patriots have been a little bit inconsistent for me to pick them against good teams.
Right.
Against other mid to bad teams, sure, but when it comes to good teams, I think they've struggled all season. Even against other non-great teams, they've struggled. So I think the Chargers get it done. But then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars up against the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh man, is the Jaguars gonna put up a winning streak for the first time in a few seasons?
Put a streak together. Well, I think Seattle's played tough in their post-Wilson era.
The post-Wilson era. That's a good way to put it.
They played tough. They've stayed in games. They've not fell apart completely.
Well, I'm just nervous because every single game that Geno Smith has played, like it's gone down to him trying to win them the game, and he has failed every single time.
He just never.
Well, it's like he'll throw an interception, he'll fumble the ball, he'll just get sacked a couple times. Like every time he's played this season so far with these trying to cut these comebacks, he's lost. Yeah, that's why it makes me nervous.
Yeah, I agree. But can I pick Jacksonville over him? I think I still got to go Seattle. Hesitantly, very hesitantly.
It is in Seattle, though, right?
Yeah, it is in Seattle. Jacksonville's win was over in England, so maybe that
they got to win in America for once.
They got to show me you can win in America before I pick you again.
Unfortunately, I guess I'm going to have to agree once again with you, Larry. I do think the Seahawks are still putting up a good fight without Russell Wilson. I mean, they have a great running game still, and they have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, so they do have the weapons. And the Jaguars are also been very consistent. I mean, they've only won once in a very long time.
They haven't gotten blown out consistently. It's not like
Trevor Lawrence,
like the Jets.
Trevor Lawrence is doing his best with what he has. He just doesn't have a lot around him, weapons-wise. Yeah. So I don't know. I think the Seahawks will pull it off, but I would be shocked if they lay an egg and fail, like Geno Smith has done several times this season.
Lord. Okay, Tyler. Well, up next.
Your faves?
We have the Washington football team at the Denver Broncos.
All right, Larry. Let's see what you have to say about this one. Let's see. What are the Broncos now? 3-4? 3-3? 3-4?
We're 3-4.
Okay, so you're on a 4-game losing streak.
We have officially crossed over.
I believe the Washington football team were on a losing streak as well because they've lost a couple as well. So somebody has to win or tie, I guess. But somebody has to win in the situation. Finally.
So in a game like this, I can't pick against my team when it's the damn Washington football team on the other side. Like, even as bad as we look, I can't do it. I cannot get myself to dare pick that damn Washington. Again, I won't be stunned, obviously, if the Washington beats us. Because they've definitely showed, particularly on offense, that they can get moving. Like, that offense, once it gets hot, it can do damage. And we've seen that all season. And the Broncos, they have streaks, like random second half streaks of hot offense. But
they did almost come back last Thursday.
The fact that we only lost by 3 points with how much Cleveland outplayed us was
insane. They lost to the 4th, 5th string Cleveland Browns, basically.
Well, and our defense has just come apart. It's just gotten the Ravens. I thought our defense still looked good. Even though the Ravens put up the points, I thought they still looked solid. But since then, it's just kind of snowballed out of control, and they just haven't been able to. They can't tackle. I'm like, what is going on with this damn tackling?
Preaching to the choir here, Larry. I was saying earlier about the Ravens, though.
Screaming. Teddy Bridgewater has also started to do the Geno thing.
I told you, Larry. You didn't want to believe me.
We get these comebacks rolling, and then he'll throw a pick.
You don't want to believe me. He puts up turnovers. It's in his stats. The stats don't lie.
See, that's what I'm scared of, is that Washington is going to come out. They're going to put up points early. And then if Denver gets in that position again where they let the other team get a lead, we're just not built to come back again. That's been the story of Denver for years at this point. It's just, if we let the other team get out ahead, well, I guess that's game, because we're not built to come back. But I can't do it. I can't pick Washington over my team, so I have to go with the Denver Broncos again.
Oh man. Well, I've picked them 4 times in a row now. Well, 3 times. Three times. Because I didn't pick them against the Ravens, of course.
No.
But I picked them 3 times in a row, and they've been a loss 3 times in a row, and they get me angry every time because I'm nice to you and Leo with your Broncos, and I pick them, and they always let me down. So I've been angry since, especially since this past week.
Well,
where I was like, I'm never
Steelers,
picking them
I know
again.
you weren't happy then either.
Right, but it's just like this.
We let the freaking Steelers and Browns both get a win.
I know, but I was angry this past one because I was like, surely they should beat the Browns with half of their team not playing, and they didn't. So, how can I don't understand. I just don't. Unfortunately, I do have to, at least one more week, I'll pick the damn Broncos.
Tyler said, this is, for real, this is it.
Because
I won't even pick your ass against Detroit if you don't win this game.
Because the Washington Redskins, they do have a good team, a solid base around them. This, especially defensively, I would be worried if I was Teddy Bridgewater when it comes to the pass rush from Washington, because they have 4 first-round picks on their defensive line, and the Broncos just don't have a very good line, as we've seen exposed in many games this year. Teddy Bridgewater is in danger. But I will hope for the best for you and Leo, and that the Broncos will win. This will be the end of the losing streak. I'll hope for it, and I'll be disappointed if they lose this time. I don't think I'll pick them anymore if they lose. Right. I think that this will be it for me. This will be this is like my final straw.
Well, now we're up to the other thorn in your side. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, God. Jameis Winston's going to play like Hall of Fame football this week.
I know. I just know it. I'm like, this feels like, oh, Tampa Bay. But just watch.
Well, it's a revenge game for him because that's his old team.
Jameis is going to be just launching that damn ball.
They dropped him for Tom Brady.
That damn Saints are going to look like they looked in week 1 against the Packers on Sunday.
I wouldn't put it past
I just know it.
I hate to say it, but I honestly could see that happening. But I have to pick the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I was like, I can't take the risk that they're going to pull that mess.
It wouldn't shock me if that happens and it's like a blowout and the Buccaneers just go out there and don't play. Like, I don't know. I think the only way that they could pull off this kind of upset is if Tom Brady just doesn't play.
Tom Brady just chills on the sideline.
Like, he's been playing great football this year. The defense has been putting up great numbers as well.
Oh my God. So let's talk about that stat really quick, because what was it? Fox NFL puts up this stat of like Tom Brady, now that he's over 600 touchdowns, has more than double the wins of like John Elway and all these other legendary quarterbacks. And then they put in Kyle Orton.
I was at the touchdowns. It was the touchdowns. Yeah, Kyle Orton was a legend.
They said he has more than double all of these legends. And then you're scrolling like Troy Aikman. Okay, Kyle
Montana,
Orton.
Elway. I like Kyle Orton. I like Kyle Orton since he played at Purdue.
I mean, he played he was a fine quarterback for us. He wasn't great, but he also wasn't bad. He was a fine quarterback for the Broncos, but it was just like jarring to get to the bottom of that list.
Well, it just goes to show you how funny it is how the league has changed, because he only had like 60 something less touchdown passes than Troy Aikman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you were the one who kind of pointed it out, is like a lot of their stats were not that far off.
Troy Aikman was like the legend Dallas Cowboys quarterback for most of the 90s, and he had Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, like all these amazing talents around him on offense, and Kyle Orton is Kyle Orton. Like, it's just not the same. Kyle Orton didn't have that kind of weaponry. Yeah, 101 touchdowns, I think they said Kyle Orton threw, and then I think Aikman had 165.
as the league started cracking down a little bit more on what you could do. I mean, defenses used to be able to just knock your head clean off your body. So
Yeah, look, that's why Troy Aikman retired. So
offenses couldn't quite go ham like they do now because them defenses were giving you concussions on the daily.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I said, Troy Aikman got finally just gave up after that last concussion. So.
Listen, I gotta go. I gotta hit it, y'all.
I mean, you see the effects of it when you watch him with Joe Buck doing those commentating. You know, he's just not always there. I don't know if it's because he's drunk though. He could just be drunk in the booth. You never really know. Does he? I know they're drinking up there.
Is it concussion or is it drunk? I'm not sure.
It could be a little bit of both. You know, I worry for him because of the CTE aspect. Yeah. So
I mean, sometimes, well, the way John Elway was running our team, I'm like, how many too many hits to the head did you take out?
Well, it's just the funny thing is the fact that he's this Hall of Fame quarterback, but he can't pick another quarterback to save his life. So
like, bruh, you'll always be remembered as Hall of Fame quarterback, but you really did a number to your name coming back and doing what you did.
It's the same with Ozzie Newsome. You know, he was our GM for most of our career as a team, our existence as a team.
Yeah. And
he's never been very good at picking receivers. I mean, he was a tight end too, but like a receiver / tight end. He could never pick a good receiver. And we still are like kind of on the fence with receivers.
Well, now we have the other thorn in my side. Thankfully, though, I have an easier decision this week. So
Oh no, you're not going to go for the upset?
We have the Dallas Cowboys.
Come on, you got to take it.
The Minnesota Vikings.
After everything you've been through with them this season,
I mean,
this is where you draw the line.
They, the last 2 games, they did get me victories when I picked them, but it was against terrible teams and they just barely won. Like they about damn gave me a heart attack on both.
That Panthers game.
That Panthers, they damn near they tried their best to blow it. And
I was mad that they didn't win. The Panthers, I mean.
Oh, well, and then the Lions game, I mean, they came back they pulled Baltimore a little bit. They were like, okay, we got 1 minute to come back and beat the Lions. Let's march down the field and break their hearts once more.
50-something yard field goal.
But I can't. Not against the Cowboys. I mean, yes, the Cowboys looked a little bit shaky in that game against New England. Like you said, it was kind of just a back and forth, like scoring fast. Nobody could stop anybody. But, I think they're just all around a better team than the Vikings. So I got to go.
Oh, man. Larry's going against his team, his real team. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think I've really ever picked the Vikings this season. I think
it's like I picked them against the Lions, and that's about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, other than that game, I don't think I've really picked them if I can remember correctly. Because I remember I picked like the Seahawks and the Panthers. Yeah, I mean, I like the Cowboys. I think they're just a better team all around. Kirk Cousins is not always great at playing up to his competition. You know, his record shows against winning teams. He's not the greatest. I think it could be a good game, though. You know, NFC game.
I have to admit, that's also part of my soft spot, too. You always dogging him. But Kirk Cousins, I got him late in a season, like halfway through a season, on a fantasy team like 2 years ago, and he won me the league. Like
he puts up stats.
Won me the league, and I was like, thought I was screwed because I was like, shit, I forgot who I lost. But ever since then, I've had a soft spot for Kirk Cousins. That's my fantasy league.
I'm not a big Kirk Cousins fan. That's very evident every week.
Tyler said, I don't play with no Kirk Cousins, and I don't play with no Derek Carr.
I like Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. I think you could put any quarterback of Kirk Cousins' level on that team, and they would do fine.
Yeah,
I think it's the team around him, not much as Kirk Cousins.
Dak's gonna get it done though against this Vikings team.
I think so. I think it'll be a good game, but
we all love Dak here, right? I mean, as much as I've hated the Cowboys throughout ever, I do like Dak.
I like Dak Prescott. I think not on and off the field. I think he's been great when it comes to his causes off the field as well with the whole mental health stuff. Yeah. So how can you not like Dak Prescott? Like, honestly.
Honestly, I think he's done, especially after, we've had a little bit of time, but after the damn Tony Romo era, I think he's done a lot to help the Cowboys.
I miss Tony Romo.
General favorability. You miss Tony Romo.
I like Tony Romo as a quarterback, and he's a great commentator too.
He is a good commentator. I actually like him much more as a commentator than I ever did as a quarterback. But,
he was in hot water this week for his comments after that guy got the ball for the 600th touchdown. Did you hear about that?
No.
People were were appalled because him and Jim Nantz were talking, joking around about what that guy should ask for that 600th touchdown ball. Negotiations, because that was like the whole thing, the whole news thing this whole week when it comes to like, he should have gotten more. He should have held on to the ball. He could have got like $1 million and all these other things. But they didn't have any of the idea of what he was going to get until, recently. He got a bunch of stuff. But the big Tony Romo got in some hot water because he basically he said the guy should trade the football for a night with his wife Giselle, Tom Brady. Basically,
Lord
paraphrasing.
Mercy. Tony.
People were appalled at him saying that because it was on national television, CBS.
I mean, is it in great taste? Nah, but also it's not that bad.
I know. I think people were overreacting.
Maybe I'll get in hot water now.
I think it was funny. I mean, I thought it was funny.
I mean, with what we've seen these active coaches doing out here this year, we fine right now.
Come on, Larry, you have the thirst report. You got to be all for the thirst.
Yeah, I'm all right. Well, will the Giants do it, Tyler? Can they give us one more mega smackdown and stop the Chiefs, stunt them at 3 points again, or will the Chiefs rebound?
No, I think the Chiefs will rebound here. I think this is. I don't want to say make or break because that makes it sound like the Giants are some amazing, epic team. But I think this is like the make or break game for the Chiefs as far as like what are they going to do this year. Like because they've lost to some good teams. They've lost to the Ravens. They've lost to the Titans. Like they've lost to some good teams this year. So I mean, it's not like completely. Yeah, the Chargers. Like they've played good teams and they've lost. Yes. Like I don't think the Giants are technically a good team. Sorry, Giants fans, but they've had some pretty great wins this year. All things considered, with the fact that Saquon Barkley's not been playing, Daniel Jones has kind of been hit or miss, and also dealing with injuries, and Kenny Golladay as well. But I mean, I think
it's Kansas City's season right here. If they lose,
the Chiefs.
They're not getting in the playoffs. Like
I mean, it's tough. They might not get into it regardless.
Yeah.
But they definitely won't get in if they lose to the Giants.
It's over. Like their season, I think, is done if they can't find a way to beat the Giants on Monday.
Well, they're last place. They're tied for last place with the Broncos.
Yeah.
Like who would have thought?
They have more divisional losses, since we've only played one.
Hey, that's like the Ravens. That's like the Ravens. We played more of your division than you have.
I mean, haven't you played us all already?
We have.
We played everyone.
That's what I'm saying. We played more of your division than you have.
No, we've only played the Raiders so far, and then Lord have mercy. But
and they're the only ones that beat us. So
yeah,
of the West anyway.
And the Raiders. And that's the thing is the Raiders, they can be inconsistent, but they have enough talent that I mean, they're going to be hard for the Chiefs to overcome and pass up. And obviously the Chargers are going to be real tough to beat for that division at this point. So, like you said, the Chiefs, their season is already looking real wobbly to even make the playoffs. And the like you also said, the AFC, I mean, it's tough as always. Like we always listen. I don't know if it's the same for you, but I feel like most fans of AFC teams always be side-eyeing the NFC because it's always like it's always an NFC team that rolls into the playoffs with like 7 wins. The Seahawks.
You don't have to say the NFC. It's the East. it's the East with Washington, Philadelphia. The Giants and the Cowboys. You can win 6 or 7 games and win their division some years.
I mean, and how long? When is the East finally gonna crawl out of being the worst team in the whole NFL or the worst division in the NFL again? Like,
I mean, the South isn't looking too great these days.
See, that's
the Jaguars and the Texans.
Yeah, the
And then
AFC.
and the Colts are kind of
But at least they have a team who's like kind of winning. No, that
right.
NFC East, they just be
Yeah,
squandering. If they leave their division, it's an automatic win for the
pretty
other
much. Yeah.
team, basically. Um, yeah. So, and here they are, the Giants. So Chiefs, you got to do it this Monday. Mahomes, maybe you got like maybe your vision got like centered after that last hit on the fumble.
Well, he did go through the protocols and
He
pass,
did.
so at least he's safe in that regard.
I was about to say, because if they lost Mahomes, yes, he had a lot of.
I don't think I would have picked the Chiefs. I would have been nervous if he wasn't.
I think I would have picked the Giants
because I don't remember who their backup is these days.
Their season would have been over. Like we did it with Seattle, but this defense can't hold anything. I mean, the Giants are going to score on Monday. So
yeah, I mean the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs. The Seahawks haven't done great without Russell Wilson. They keep getting. They're close. They keep getting there, but they keep fumbling in the end, almost literally with Geno Smith.
So
like Geno Smith has been able to get. He's been able to keep them in it and then fumble it at the end. So I don't know. I don't know which is worse, Larry. How would you feel? Would you rather be in it for an entire game all the way down to the wire and then your quarterback ruins it for you and you lose? Or would you rather just lose outright every week?
I mean, I have to say, when it's a close loss, I am always like, damn it, I wish we would have just got blown down. Because
that's how it feels with the Seahawks.
This bullshit be making me too mad. I don't know. I have to say, I thought the only game I was like, okay, the one we're going to split on is going to be Denver and Washington. After Sunday, I was like,
I was very angry, but I looked at the reports for the Washington Broncos. I did a little bit more research than I usually do for that game. Where
he said, I need all the homework for this damn game.
I looked at the spread. I looked at the injury reports. I did look a lot more in depth, and I looked at like the record between them throughout the years. Everything.
I mean, it's going to be a close one.
It could be like a repeat of their Super Bowl back in the day. You know, back in the ancient times.
I'll be pissed.
I would be pissed too.
I'll be pissed if it's a repeat of that damn Super Bowl.
They got bad blood all the way back then.
Lord. All right. Well, y'all, it's a little bit of a. We still hit the hour mark. It wasn't too short.
A little bit, a little over.
Just the two of us. But if you've made it to this hour mark, just so you know, we'll be on a little bit of a vacation the next couple of weeks because it is the Denver Film Festival, and they like to host their like red carpet big events on Wednesday nights. So
yeah, I'm jealous because technically I'm also going, but I'll be there. I'll be there virtually, so
he can watch. What was that damn Night of the Living Penis?
Oh God, yeah. The lineup for the virtual is pretty garbage. There's like one or two things I'll probably watch though.
I was like, that's what Tyler can watch some of that.
But they got the drive-in this year too. I saw the email. They're doing a drive-in again.
Look at, I mean, Jamie Dornan's gonna be around somewhere.
I was a little jealous when I saw that email.
Roaming the Botanic Gardens.
You're gonna be trying to find him, you and Leo.
Like
where are you, Jamie?
Be looking backstage at Belfast.
I would.
Well, apparently Leo ain't gonna be able to even go to that. I don't know. His work schedule is a mess.
Well, as you can tell by him not being here for many weeks, his schedule has been pretty messy.
Well, tonight he ditched us for a t-shirt.
Well, he also was sick, so it was almost like a unfortunate karma.
He was sick too. Watching,
it's an unfortunate karma. He was already ditching us, and then he got sick anyway. So
yeah, so we won't be here.
Hopefully, he does feel better.
We won't be here the next couple weeks, but we'll still be posting our picks. I'll probably put it in my community. It'll be my first community tab post. I have never posted anything in there before.
I've had it for like years, and I've never done anything. I feel bad.
I know. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to use it.
I didn't know people use it. I know people use it. I just don't know if people pay attention to it. Like I've never paid attention to it.
But obviously, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I always post our pics up there and leave yours as well. And I tag Tyler and Leo every time. So it'll be coming up on their feeds if you follow them too. But Tyler, where can people follow you if they're not already?
Well, I mean, I am dressed up as Peacemaker, so I guess you could find me on HBO Max in January for my series. Just kidding. You can find me if you search up my name on here, Tyler Calvert, for my reviews, reactions, and all that stuff on my channel.
Mhm.
You can find me here on the channel doing other stuff, reactions, and all that stuff on Chili Boy Productions. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at It's Tyler Calvert.
Perfect. And if you did enjoy this, make sure to go ahead and click that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified each and every week when we do come back and go live for Sports Talk Live on Wednesdays. And so that you are all up to date on all of my latest film and TV and thirst related content. I love you all so much for your continued support. See you next time. Bye.